Welcome back to The Blend. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to successfully run a business. And most business owners will probably tell you the greater the effort, the sweeter the reward. Our next guests say that same logic should apply to their retirements as well.
Yes, Abe Ashton and Nick Strobelt of Ashton Strobelt are Southern Nevada's retirement brothers, and they join us, gosh, every week or so
Every Thursday.
to help us be educated on matters of finance and retirement. Welcome back to the show,
Gentlemen,
guys.
happy to be here.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you. Yeah.
So a lot of folks in Vegas own small businesses.
Yes.
And these folks have a unique path to retirement. Tell us about it.
Well, they've got no path to retirement, right, unless they create it. I'm sorry I've lost my voice. I was telling you I've been screaming all weekend for my kids who actually did something good, so that was a surprise. So
Congrats.
actually, yes, I'm so happy.
Sorry,
I'm so happy for them, but they did something really well to swim meet. But anyway, for small business owners, they have no path to retirement in many cases because they haven't set one up. They're not working for a company that's going to provide them a pension. Right? They may not have matching programs yet until they build that for their own business. Yeah. And once they do that, then maybe they will. But as in any startup, you look at your line items, you look at your budget, look at your margins. You've got to make sure some sort of retirement plan is in there from the beginning, or get one in as soon as you've got your business up and running and profitable.
Depending on the size of the small business, sometimes it's a 401k, sometimes it's there's other options.
I don't think you can say depending on the size of the small business. Aren't all small businesses?
Small.
Well, I mean, some are big enough. Yes. I mean, you know.
They're bigger than I. I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, there's different options. You can do a solo 401k, you can do a SEP IRA, or you can just do a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. There's lots of options you can do. And like Abe said, if you delay, people feel like they have to delay until their business is super successful, and that's not true. You can start with just 1% and just make it a habit of, anyone can give at least 1% of their take-home pay to some type of retirement plan. Yeah. And then build upon that, make it 2, 5, 10 over the years, and the habits in place. And gets you in the right direction. The
first conversation is whether or not you want to create a matching plan for employees. Yeah. You know, if you've got 3 or 4 employees, many of the larger programs like 401ks or the SEP IRAs, for example, if you match for your own money from your company, if you use your company funds to match your own IRA or these contributions for this qualified money, you have to also match for your employees. So you can't say, hey, I'm going to go match 50-50 and not do it for your employees as well. So you better make sure you've got a plan that says what's good for the boss is good for the gander, if you will.
Yeah. And I mean, you obviously have a small business, so you are, but you're also in the retirement world, so I'm assuming you have a very sweet deal for your employees.
Right. We're still on that blood, sweat, and tears part you talked about. That's what we're measuring our retirement in, and how much blood we've lost and tears we've wept. But no, it is one of those things that we have to talk about it. We have to think about it, and because we know the space, we know what works best for our retirees, and we really get to cheat. We get to see how people are finishing up in retirement. It's like getting to read the end of the book first. Yeah.
Yes,
right? We're sitting down with people to see how small business owners did, what did they do to contribute to retirement accounts, and it gives us a great idea on what we should do for ourselves, and also advising our other clients who may just be on the cusp of retirement.
I think something you said earlier was interesting, though. It's never too late. Right? So people listening now have got, oh man, I've been putting that off. I don't know. Yeah. You know, get in there and start it up, right?
It's never too late, right? Because people say, oh, you know what, I've already had my business for 10 or 15 years. We've never put that line item in, retirement or 401ks. I'm a partner in a company where just 2 years ago, after 5 years of startup, just 2 years ago, we decided, hey, we can now afford to do a 401k matching for our employees. Excellent. And they were excited, and we were excited to have that opportunity. It's getting it in there at some point, and never waiting for, I mean, don't postpone that indefinitely.
Yeah. Of course. What about for a business owner who's set to retire? You have to prepare what happens to your business after you retire.
Yeah,
it's a good.
Well, hopefully the business is worth something, and so many
businesses.
That's the question.
Goal number one.
Yeah.
Number one. Be profitable. Yes.
That's the hope, and so many people's retirement plan is, hey, I'm not going to put away money in my retirement accounts. I'm just going to sell my business, and then that's going to fund my retirement. And so that's a gamble of some sort, because you never know what you're going to get for that business when you turn 65, whenever that's going to be. And so the idea is, like Abe said, is work on your business throughout your career and make it as valuable as possible, but at the same time work on a financial plan and have that going in the background at the same time. And so no matter what that business sells for down the road, that's going to be worth something, hopefully, and you have your backup plan, which is your retirement accounts that you've been contributing for the last 30 years.
That's a really interesting problem. So that, you know, someone who worked for a bigger company doesn't have or am I going to pass the business on?
Right. Do I have a
Or am
family
I gonna
member?
sell
Do I
it?
have a
Am I gonna
partner? Do I
pass
have an
it on?
associate that
Yeah.
I want to have? And you don't want to be in a position where you have to fire sell the business for lower than the value, where you just get so anxious to retire
Yeah.
that now you're taking pennies on the dollar. Right? You've got to have a plan set up along the way. Hey, this is the multiple of revenue that we're going to be signing or we're going to be selling the business for. And then you can transition, or we're going to take the payments over time, or I want a lump sum, all of those things.
The goal is always to have a plan, and I know you're helping our viewers do just that.
Yeah, we get a lot of phone calls from viewers, and so this would be a great time for any small business owners to call in if they'd like to sit down and have a consultation. We can look at what those transitions into retirement would look like, or how to set up a retirement plan for you and your employees of a company of any size.
Awesome. All I have to do is give you a buzz.
Yeah.
In fact, right now, you're taking calls offering something called a planning review for
Right.
folks who call in.
Yep, so that's exactly what we do. We sit down, we take a look at their business, their revenue models, and we'll help them come up with a budget to contribute to those retirement accounts for themselves, if they're interested, for their employees, and also transition for later on in retirement.
Thank you so much.
Great having you.
Great,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Call right now to get a complete planning review to see how your business affairs will impact your retirement. The number is 702-900-8177. This is free of charge today for qualified callers, and you can learn more about Ashton Strobelt by visiting their website, ashtonstrobelt.com.
And I, for one, am
Yes.
not surprised that they did well at the swim meet, for what it's worth. I had good money.
That makes one of us.